North Korean President Kim Jong celebrating Russia's National Day in Pyongyang. Russia, he said, was an invincible ally ahead of a visit to Asia by Vladimir Putin.
The significance to me is that, Mr. Putin is traveling around like he's a statesman. He has allies, he has partners, he's in the BRICS, he's making moves. And those who think that he's losing the war may have to think again.
His first visit is to North Korea. For two leaders who don't travel much, Presidents Kim and Putin are well acquainted. A visit to Russia last year by Kim Jong-un seems to have cemented an agreement to buy weapons from Pyongyang. In February, Ukrainian prosecutors said Russia deployed 24 North Korean ballistic missiles. Although most missed their intended targets, 14 people were killed and 70 injured in the attacks. The next stop is Vietnam. Do Lam, appointed president only last month, will be eager to welcome one of Vietnam's closest historical allies, a sign that recent political turbulence has settled down.
Russia is one of the major powers of the world, besides the US, China, and even India. So I think that's why Vietnam tried to keep the very strong tie and close tie of the relation between the two countries.
But modern Vietnam has made new alliances. Diplomatic relations have flourished with old enemies, a counterbalance to China. US warships are welcomed in Vietnamese waters, and Putin's visit may not be well received by Vietnam's new friends.
Vietnam actually has moved much closer to the US, to the West in some ways, but not on the Russian aggression. So the Putin visit would be a bind for Vietnam to hold and carry out this balancing act. It will be harder.
But Russia holds one important card. China, India, Vietnam, even Singapore are major consumers of Russian fossil fuels. And that's likely to mean Vladimir Putin will receive a warm welcome on his Asian tour. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera.
Let's get more now with Andrei Lankov. He's a professor of Korean studies at Kookmin University and joins us now from Seoul. Good to have you with us again on the programme, Mr. Lankov. I mean, are you surprised by the announcement of Putin visiting North Korea? I'm sure both leaders will have a very long shopping list, which will begin with military assets.
Not at all surprised, because such a visit has been expected for a long time. And we sort of expected that it would happen earlier this year. Indeed, there is a great deal of military cooperation. Largely, it's seemingly about North Korean ammunition being sold to Russia for the use in Ukraine. Officially, neither side admits that such deals are taking place, but there is enough evidence to confirming that such deals are really happening and probably on a large scale.
I mean, we sometimes don't always know the fine detail of these sorts of negotiations. It always happens behind closed doors. But we can assume that North Korea needs technology. I mean, what can Russia, for example, offer Pyongyang when it comes to its sort of ballistic missile program?
It can offer a lot. But the question is, will it? Probably not. Because from the Russian point of view, providing North Korea with missile technology does not make much sense. First, if such technology is provided, North Korea is likely to use it to develop weapons, which they will probably start selling on the international market. That is slightly driving Russia out of this market, as it has happened before.
OK, well, Russia too. Sorry, I apologise. Please carry on.
Yeah, I just would say, and the other part is that Russia would not like, as basically Vladimir Putin made absolutely clear just 10 days ago, would not like to spoil relations with South Korea, the major enemy of North Korea. Putin basically said that Russia has noticed that South Korea is not providing Ukraine with direct military aid. And so Russia hopes that at some point in future, relations with South Korea would improve. This was a clear signal, and against such a background, one would not expect a great deal of technology, military technology transfer to North Korea. Once again, it does not make much sense for Russia. This is what North Koreans want. But will they get it? I'm skeptical.
Yeah, I suppose one of the other things that I suppose Russia can offer North Korea is sort of diplomatic protection, can't it, at the sort of UN Security Council? I mean, Pyongyang would like that.
Yes, and it's getting it in abundance. Actually, Russia, together with China, it has been blocking all resolutions which would increase pressure on North Korea. For, well, probably more than a year, it has been impossible to pass through the UN Security Council any resolution critical of North Korea. And the major reason is the position of Russia and, of course, China. And I don't expect it to change. In all kinds of the international organizations, groups, forums, not only in the United Nations, everywhere, Russian diplomats will be providing North Korea with a sort of diplomatic cover.
It's been good to get your insight. It'll be certainly interesting to see what is said once that meeting is over in Pyongyang. Andrei Lankov, thanks for joining us from Seoul.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.